back with another episode of the crossover with my boy Ravi. This is your host B and your co-host Ravi. So Ravi, man, what you got to say to the people today?
Hey man, we're winding down. It's time to give out that hardware, and you know which hardware I'm talking about.
What's that? Most, I guess most congeniality reward or anything like that. What's the hardware we giving out here, man?
Hey man, we gotta go old school on you tonight, like your boy RVD used to say, MVP.
That's not my boy. But I do like the segue. I do like the reference. I should say, yeah. RV. Wow, you took it back, guy. Man, there. Oh yeah, for sure. And a little shout out to WrestleMania this past week. You know, I won't get into it, but hey, man, what happened during the mix-up? But we'll discuss that offline. we were looking for you. Oh man! So all right, so let's get into it. Today we're going to discuss MVP, as Ravi said. It's just MVP talk here for the next few minutes, and give our thoughts. We'll give let's put it this way: we'll give who we think's going to win and who we think should win. So I will give you the honors first, sir, and tell me who you think should win, and maybe it's the same person you think will win. But we'll find out, man. Who you like? Who you got?
Well, nothing too controversial on my end. I think the MVP is Steph Curry. I think he will win. I think he should win. And I would slot in Harden at a very, very close second, and then I would have LeBron at third. So that's the order I have mine in. But just to touch quickly on Steph Curry, I think that he's been doing it in terms of performing on the court. His individual performance has been there all year, beginning to end. And as a team, as a staff, record label, and a crew, these guys have been in. They've been in the number one spot the entire year. They've been, consistently, holding that down. I don't think they as a team, they haven't had, they've had a slight dip here and there, but there hasn't been any major drop off, since they've been holding on that number one spot. And it's not too much else to say. I think his performance and the team's performance speaks for itself there.
Okay, so that's who you think should win, and you think that's who will win?
Correct.
All right. Okay. Okay. So I will jump off of that, and I'm going to make it a little more interesting, I guess. I think I'll go the reverse. I think Curry will probably win. For a few reasons why. I think in this case, he plays for an exciting team. You're kind of like the in team from a standpoint of the statisticians and all the metrics guys. We talked about the beginning of the season when Kerr got hired. They just, and throwing Kerr as part of this as well too, they gush over the Golden State. Oh my gosh, how they play, the beauty, how they play, blah, blah. And I get it. Curry's an exciting player to watch. He's the most fun player to watch in the league. I call him the living bombers. And that's for folks in this case that know they're Fantastic Four. They'll know where I'm getting at when I reference that. And
I think Chris Paul will agree with you.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that was boy. You done that hit the Paul a couple times, guy. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I think he did it last year. I think when he did a crossover or something like that by just extended elbow last year. I'm pretty sure it was him.
Well, for the viewers, if you guys have not seen it, just Google it on YouTube or just type in Chris Paul memes and you're good to go.
I'll put the link down there below for you, man. Don't worry about it. I'll save you the trouble. I'll put the link down there for you. Man.
There we go, all in one.
We're self-served. We'll give it to you right there, man. Don't worry about it, man. You don't have to go search right around the net for it, man. We'll put it right down there for you.
That's what's up.
Exactly. I think. I think Golden State has this aura button that the media can't wait to crown them. Can't wait. They're all what's right with basketball. When they play, in this case, fairies and doves and flowers sprout up when they play. I get it. They're a fun team to watch, and this has been kind of morphing for a few years. I think the only thing that kind of got their way is that in this case they didn't care for Mark Jackson and his philosophy. So I think that was kind of butting against what they wish to see, because they had a lot of exciting players and they're young players and they play a nice, for the most part, exciting brand of basketball. And now it's just been amped up by steroids in this case, steroid levels with Kerr in this case. pace, threes. Okay, I get it. But if I'm looking at it in this case for the most valuable player, and I understand historically, usually the guy who's got the best team in this case wins the award, so probably he will win it. But if I'm just looking here, I mean, they came to the Toronto the other night there. And I sat there and I looked at Houston's roster. And I'm looking at dudes that can't even start on most teams. And if they do, they dang sure, well, in this case, they're either been run off the teams already, like Josh Smith. Or in this case, there are guys in this case, Dorsey played. That guy was there getting a cup of coffee in Toronto. Couldn't even get off our bench. This is the Raptors. Couldn't even get off our bench. This ain't Raptors of today, folks. This is Raptors like 5 years ago, okay? And believe me, if you live in Toronto, you know what I'm talking about when I talk about 5 years ago, I talked to Raptors. That dude's starting for these dudes. I'm like sitting there going, are you kidding me? Prigioni. My dad's probably wondering, like, what the heck? Prigioni? A man never want to take a shot for 3 weeks in New York. And he's playing with that dude. Like, I'm seeing who this dude's playing with. I'm sitting there shaking my head, like, how is this team winning 55 plus games when it's all said and done? They're fighting with Memphis for the second seed in the West. And I'm sitting there going, like, this is literally based on one man's doing. Pretty much playing with Howard for the entire season, not playing with him the entire season. Now they lost Beverly for last week, and they're still humming away. I'm sorry. People might want to hate the game. Don't hate the player, may hate the game. You might want to hate the game too, but the fact is, man, dude is efficient, and he gets it done. Yeah, it can hardly be a little greasy with some of the flopping. I agree. I know he's the anti-Curry in this sense. The media doesn't care for Harden. The media doesn't care for Houston. Throw in the whole Dwight mindset, the Dwight factor. Throw in Daryl Morey, some of his loose tongue in this case here, and even maybe Kevin McHale's strategy or lack thereof as a coach that people like to go against. They like Kevin McHale as a person and personality, no two ways. But when it comes to strategy, they abhor that, the media and these analytics gurus from that standpoint. But they do a lot of things well that, from an analytics standpoint that makes them very efficient. And like what Harden's doing is just unreal. I'm sorry. I like a team with that roster has no business winning 55 plus games. And I got to give it to Harden.
Yeah, I don't argue with that. I think that's why I said I had Harden as a very close second in my ballots and in my ratings. But I can't argue with that. But like when you look back and you're talking about like this team should not be in the position that they're in. He's not the first guy to have had his team in contention when they had no business being in contention and not even been given that award at all. I mean, if I go back a few years, you had I think like 2005, not even 2006, 2007. When Kobe had the Lakers in contention, and we knew the roster that he had back then.
Roll back that for a second. Hold on for a second. First thing, those Kobe teams didn't win anywhere close to the number of games that Harden.
No. They didn't win close to the number of games. But what I'm saying is, for him to even have his team in that position and for that roster that he had at that particular time, there was and what I'm saying is he was not even given any type of consideration whatsoever.
No, is that the year when he went off on the crazy scoring run?
What's that?
That's the year we had those unbelievable scoring run where he scored 40 points.
That's one of those
season,
years.
Right.
A couple of those seasons.
And I think he should have been in play, but I'm just looking at the season overall, what they're doing with the team, because that's where it comes down to. Numbers, yeah, I get it. He did make I think they won like 47 games that year, or 48 or something like that. Around there, right. And they're like a 6 seed or something like that, or 7 seed. And like, yeah, you could say, okay, the equivalent to him right now is Westbrook, right? That's
but he's another guy who's made a late push, right?
Right. And that's what I'm saying in this case here. Hey, you know me. I love me some Rusty in this case here. Furious Styles, to quote Jalen. That's my boy.
Where do you have him in your rankings?
Boy, I tell you, man. I got to move him. I love me the king. But I got to push Russ past the king. That hurts me a little bit. The Kings had a strong season. And that's the thing. Kings like Jordan. We just take it for granted. Yeah, 27, 7, and 6. We'll be good.
Yeah.
Like no one bats an eye. It's like, what are you doing for me? It's like Jared Jackson. What have you done for me lately, LeBron? Like, really? So unless LeBron has a team that wins almost 70 games, it's going to be hard pressed for someone not to give it to LeBron again. That's essentially the only equation for LeBron to win MVP one more time. That's it. I don't know if he'll win another one again just for that factor because his numbers are always like that. But to me, like, what Westbrook is doing, and this goes back to my factor about who you're playing with. Now, Oklahoma City's team, I agree, has gotten better after the trades. Mm-hmm. However, with the injuries, obviously with Durant pretty much not playing the rest of the season after the All-Star game, and then Ibaka going out, I mean, like, and don't forget, Steven Adams was out during that time as well, too. You know, I'm just sitting there going, like, this dude is, like, just, like, unreal what he's doing. Like, I'm sorry, you can say now true. He said straight he's looking for that MVP trophy. He was getting a good look at last year. He said so today or yesterday. I think today he put out saying, like, yo, yeah, I'm going after that trophy. That's what I love.
Well, I mean, I think in the All-Star game he said the same thing very early in the game. We said we saw a number of what he did in that game a couple months back.
That's
right?
why I love Russell. There ain't no trying to be coy about stuff. This is how we doing it. This is how it's going down. That's why I love Russell. It's like, this is how we going. This is how we gonna do. And he's just saying, yo, I want the trophy. I'm gonna play for it. Now this team's winning too, so it ain't like he's ball hogging and not doing it. He's dropping sometimes 17 assists. Sometimes he give you 30 some odd points. Sometimes he might get 12 boards. He's doing it all, man. So, I mean, if he didn't get the injury right at the beginning of the season, when he kind of started off, who knows what might have been the case. But he's moved past LeBron to me in this case at this point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have LeBron fourth at this point. And then, fifth, not saying he doesn't deserve to be recognized, but definitely fifth would be Anthony Davis.
Yeah, Anthony Davis in there. I think what his PER is the highest right now for, I think, what's he's in his fourth year?
Yeah.
Third year, fourth year?
Third year, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing his thing as well. So, I mean, definitely look for him in the next season to do some things that they can put some pieces around it.
Exactly. I mean, I hear people talk about Chris Paul getting thrown in the mix. Not bad, but, I think Chris Paul to some extent gets a bit of the LeBron thing, where it's like he's doing Chris Paul. It's like it's nothing, it doesn't look, it's just that you just expect it from him. Yeah. Is there anyone else I can think of that could even be in the discussion at this point? No, not really. I don't think so.
No.
Let's
hope that the league doesn't do something ridiculous and give they might want to give the starting four there from Atlanta. A quarter of the award each.
Tell me about it. So I don't know, man. That's where I see it right now. I believe Harden should win the award after seeing a little bit more information. I love Curry in this case as well, too. I'm not trying to hate, folks. Love me some Curry. Most fun player in the league to watch. He's must-see TV. But I'm just looking at what I'm seeing with the resumes of both. I said before, I just saw Houston up close and personal the other day. I still scratch my head figuring out how these dudes win games. I don't know. I'm just sitting here. Josh Smith, who, as a Pistons fan, we wrote checks out and said, here, please go. Go. We don't want you. Go. Atlanta didn't even bother trying to re-sign. It's like, nah, it's okay. We're good. Yeah. And the man is playing a key role in Houston. It's like, really? Like, holy cow. Like, so I'm just amazed what I'm seeing there, man.
Hey, it's all about finding that right fit, that right situation.
It just Harden's playmaking ability just makes him such a devastating force. But it's going to be a fun race. It's one of the closest races I think we've had in a long time. So it's good to see. It's a good discussion. Gets people's blood going. Gets everyone really revved up and ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think you, and like you said, we got some legitimate candidates this year. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a guy in the discussion right now that people would say he shouldn't be in there at all. Right. I think that the top 3, top 4 guys that people are talking about, mm-hmm. they all have legitimate cases as to why they should win. Exactly. There's not one guy that's standing out. It's like, whoa, what's he doing in that conversation?
Exactly. So. For sure. So there's our thoughts on it, folks, man. Tell us who you think should be MVP this year, man. We love to hear your comments below. Hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up on YouTube right here on the channel. So we appreciate the support. Google Plus, we even got hitting on there. So you can find us everywhere, man.
We got all bases covered.
All bases covered, man. So anyhow, man, we'll check y'all next week, man. Peace. Oh, yeah. One more time. I always forget in this case. Where can the good folks find you, Ravi?
At Mr. Ravi _Porvita.
And they'll rewind that back for a second. All right. And you can find me at Beyond Locker Room, short for RM. And now, good night, folks.